A very good day to you all. If you are joining us on Let's Talk, this is our first episode of the year 2026, and we are looking forward to great things. And we'll be bringing you different individuals, different professionals, and we'll be talking about different stories from within Zimbabwe, from within Africa, and throughout the whole world. This is to keep the conversation going, and we'll be glad if you send us also some ideas, or if you have individuals you would want us to interview so that we might bring them here together. So this is your host Tapiwa Makosa, and I am with you in this 2026. So today I am joined by a special friend, one friend that I met on the Chevening program. That is a scholarship given by the UK government for high performing individuals in different countries throughout the whole world. And we are going to talk about a very important subject that is happening in the Horn of Africa, where there's some developments that have sent some shocks within the African community and even in the Arab world. So, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Dr. Awil to Let's Talk. Dr. Mohamed Awil, how are you?
My friend, good. And if you are currently based in the UK, good afternoon. If you are currently in Africa, good evening. But particularly, good evening from the Horn of Africa. Glad to see you today and have a frank conversation, as you said, about my country, Somaliland. And to introduce myself to everyone listening to us, my name is Dr. Mohamed Awil Ali. And as my friend mentioned, a proud Chevening alumni, 2022, 2023. And to those who are listening to us, Chevening is the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office prestigious scholarship to pursue a master's degree in the UK. I'm a veterinarian by profession, currently based in Hargeisa, the Republic of Somaliland.
Ah, wonderful, wonderful, a respected and humble individual, because I didn't know he was this big man when we were here in the UK, in the program that we were doing, and as we'll be meeting as the different individuals. But today we've got a serious issue that I would want you to enlighten me the more, and also our viewers and those that are in in your country, in Somaliland, in Somalia, in different other parts of Africa, and also those that are in the diaspora in relation of what has happened. To bring our viewers to par, this is what we are going to be talking about. For more than 3 decades, Somaliland has existed in a sort of a strange space where it is governing itself, holding elections, and maintaining some relative stability. Yet it had remained unrecognized by the international community. So recently, that long-standing reality shifted when Israel formally recognized Somaliland as a sovereign state. So today's conversation is about, it's not necessarily about celebrating or condemnation, but it's about understanding what this moment actually means, in what are the legal implications, what are the political implications, and what does it also mean for those that are in Somaliland, in Somalia, and the wider African diaspora, and also those that are in the Arab world that are following through. So this is the conversation that we are going to be having today with my friend. So maybe to begin with, what does this moment represent in real terms for you as a people in Somaliland?
Thank you very much again, my friend. It's a moment of pride. We are extremely proud that we are finally getting a formal recognition. Of course, the first of its kind starting since 1991. So the people here in Somaliland, across all cities, specifically the capital Hargeisa, are celebrating, my friend. This is finally their determination, their hard work, their commitment for democracy, for development has been rewarded by international recognition. So it's a moment of pride, of course, and still we are celebrating. And let me say, we are also expecting other countries to recognize Somaliland. So we will be on a celebration mode. I don't know, maybe maybe up to the end of the year.
I mean, that is the question that I have in my mind to say, why 3 decades later on, you have been doing these elections, you have been,
Yeah.
why kind of like at this point, what does that hold beyond the symbolism? What are then the practical changes that this recognition brings to Somaliland?
And let me start by brief history, right?
Okay.
Somaliland, or the Republic of Somaliland, was the Somaliland. It was a Somaliland British protectorate. You know what I'm saying? So historically, we belong to the protectorate of the UK. So we gained our independence on 26 June 1960. All right. Then voluntarily, without any external forces, we have chooses to unite with the Italian Somalis. That was on 1st July, the same year, 1960. Then to form what's called the Somali Republic. From that time, my friend, and the people of Somaliland was suffering from what's going on the Federal Republic of Somalia. Then until 1991, 18 May, we reclaimed our independence as a sovereign nation to formally become the Republic of Somaliland due to severe conflict, civil wars, and the collapse of the Somali government that time led by Siad Barre. So it's been, let me say, it's been nearly three. It's been nearly 35 years of 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 development, of economic integration, of peace, of democracy. And finally, on 26 December, the end of 2025, we get a formal recognition by the state of Israel. Yes, through that 35 years, we have been trying to get the international recognitions from any country that will come. We have been really working with the international community. We have been working with the US, the UK, United Arab Emirates, Ethiopia, Djibouti, and in so many things, including economic development. But fortunately, the long wait has come to end on 26 December, as I mentioned, where we get the international recognitions from the state of Israel, and frankly speaking, it is purely this pure diplomatic ties between Somalia and Israel. It's based on our mutual interest. We are, as I mentioned, we are located on the Horn of Africa. So Somaliland is on the bulk of the Horn of Africa. And we have been we are well known up to now. Since 1991, we are well known of democracy. We are well known of, working with everyone who wanted to do business or trade in the region. But getting formal recognition is another level, my friend. It's another
I
level.
do. I do get that, and
Yeah,
that's why I had started from you giving like that brief background history
yeah,
that you
yeah,
had
yeah.
with Somaliland and Somalia, British protectorate, and then also Somalia down south. Being from Italian,
Yeah,
and that voluntary coming in, and the challenges and whatever that happened.
yeah. They have been trying to stop us from the formal recognition since 1991. That some federal Somali Republic, federal government of Somalia has international recognitions. So
Yes.
they tried a lot. They put a tremendous work to stop us from international recognitions. But on the other hand, when it comes to democracy, Somaliland is well known democratically. We conduct a regular elections, my friend, which is fair and transparent. We have a government, we have a cabinet, we have a parliament. We are in a very strategic location. So when it comes to who can have a good relation or diplomatic relation or economic relation with the world, definitely the answer will be Somaliland.
All right, let me hold you there. You are strategically positioned on the Horn of Africa. You've got almost 800 kilometers of coastline in the Mediterranean Sea. and you know you are strategically positioned. But I want you to bring you back to Somalia, Somaliland. You have been conducting elections. Do you have a standing army of Somaliland?
Yeah, we have army, we have a military power.
Okay. So what then is then the relationship? Because if Somaliland have succeed, Somalia actually, sorry, if Somalia have succeeded to either in advocacy or in lobbying that you guys or that Somaliland is not recognized by the international teams, international countries, and the UN itself. I think we saw African Union giving a statement after the recognition also, which we are going to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How then does this recognition by Israel impact the relationship that then exists between Somaliland and Somalia, talking about, because in Africa, as you know, we talk a lot about territorial integrity,
Yeah,
sovereignty and things like that.
yeah.
How is it going? Because there is this noise outside of, yes, or Israel has gotten us many countries, we're looking forward to many countries recognizing us, but what is happening in the border towns, let's put it that way, between
Um,
Somalia and Somaliland,
you
and
know,
how are
okay.
the individuals taking it?
There's a region called Puntland, okay,
Mhm,
which is the west of Somalia. So we have borders with Puntland. So we do not have a direct borders with Somalia, when it comes to land territory. And from your perspective, yes, they are trying hard as well up to now. They are trying every day to stop other countries recognizing us. But my friend, you know, generally speaking, when we talk about Somalia, the African Union, for example, or IGAD, the member state of IGAD,
mhm,
they were supporting the Federal Republic of Somalia for the last maybe 20 years. They tremendously put a lot of effort to put Somalia stable again, but it's getting worse and worse. So the solution for the peace, democracy, and economic development of the Horn of Africa is simply recognizing Somaliland. Simple and short. Yes, of course, they will try to stop us, but we will also do our best to get recognitions from even African nations, including the people, including the countries in the African Union, of course. And by mentioning the African Union, there is
mhm,
one fact that I wanted to share with you. There were a mission that visited Somaliland, Hargeisa, and by the African Union,
uh-huh,
and they conclude that I think it was on 2005. They make a full assessment on Somaliland case. They said Somaliland case is something very unique. You know, they
mhm.
diplomatically mentioned that we really deserve international recognition. That was 2005, my friend. Imagine.
That's
But
20
because
years ago again. That's
yeah,
like two decades ago. And
yeah,
after having said that,
yeah,
nothing really came up.
yeah,
And I'm thinking the African Union in Addis Ababa,
of
there
course.
is that, fear of that, if then this recognition comes, because to some this is more like a cessation, you're ceasing to become from being part of Somalia, and then for them they will be asking, why then should Somaliland be treated as an exception, you know, when we are already driving the idea that we must have territorial integrity and supporting the member states, that they, especially the one of Africa, looking at the conflicts that arises, most of the times.
Yeah, we already
Now,
yeah we already have a bilateral relation with Ethiopia, for your information, my friend. We had a memorandum of understanding between Somaliland and Republic of Ethiopia. It was on 2024, before the election, before the presidential elections here in Somaliland. That
mhm,
memorandum of understanding was between the Republic of Somaliland and Ethiopia, so that we get more of trade facilitation or economic integration between the two nations. And we share a direct border, by the way, between Somaliland and
yes.
Ethiopia. Yeah. So even the whole Ethiopian community and the whole Somalilanders, the people in Somaliland, they much know each other very well, more than how Ethiopia know Somalis. Of course, the African Union headquarters, even
Mhm,
IGAD, Even there is some Arabic, the Arab Association senior diplomat in Addis Ababa, and I have been informed maybe yesterday that some senior Arab diplomat from the Arab country were, meeting in Addis Ababa. You know what they say? They conclude saying that the recognition of Somaliland at this moment, 2026, is unstoppable. It's for the interest of the world, for the interest of the wider African countries or the African continent, and specifically the stability of the Horn of Africa. So Somaliland existence is not more a debate; it is a reality, my friend. We are expecting.
Fine with the expectation. It's the
Yeah,
reality. But
yeah.
let's talk Israel.
Okay,
Let's
okay.
talk Israel then,
All right.
because you have
Okay.
been mentioning about the Arab world, the
Yeah,
Arab
yeah,
countries, and they
yeah,
put
yeah,
up a statement which was not really in support,
yeah.
with the recognition. And I'm thinking they are the Arab world. You are mostly an Islamic country, which has got closer ties to the Arab world, if you might put it this way. Now, we've spoken about this is over 3 decades of self-governance and everything else. Why then did the Arab world not recognize you? Now that they cry foul when Israel comes in and recognize you, and to you, then the question becomes then is the recognition by Israel to spite the Arab world? Is it based on shared values? Is it like maybe just strategic instruments of Israel on the Horn of Africa, or for both? Then what do Somaliland that they have to do to ensure that this partnership, this recognition, remains of equality and not of dependence?
Good, my friend. So, and let me see this from different perspective. All right.
Yeah.
Israel is an internationally well-known power. All right,
Yes.
and that have even a very strong argument in the United Nations Security Council. Okay,
Mhm.
and the Arab countries, they were, and still most of them are against the recognition of Somalia purely based on their interest. They don't want our recognition. But from the other on the other hand, the geopolitics situation of the Horn of Africa, when it comes to the Red Sea, when it comes to the Indian Ocean, a very sensitive position, right?
Yeah.
Where there is external power competition,
Mhm.
including, of course, the United States of America and
Mhm.
the administration of President Donald Trump. So, um, Somaliland is a Muslim country,
Mhm.
Muslim and Sunni country.
Mhm.
We respect all Arab and Islamic countries that we share culture, religion, and belief.
Mhm.
All right. But, and let me say it frankly, the diplomatic ties, diplomatic collaboration, and the formal recognition of Israel for Somaliland, it's a
Uh-huh.
diplomacy, my friend. It's an art of diplomacy. It is based on our mutual interest. So there's a lot of things that we will gain from Israel. A lot of things. They are pioneering so many things in the world across different sectors.
Mhm.
All
Mhm.
right. Um, on the other hand, there is some tension in the Middle East. So
Mhm.
what's going in the Middle East between Israel and Palestinian, or between,
Palestine.
yeah, Palestine, yeah, we respect the nation of Palestine, of course, and the people of Palestine. But what's happening there in the Middle East is totally not related to what's happening. Totally not related to what's happening on the Horn of Africa. So it's purely diplomatic. And diplomacy is what, my friend, it's going for your interest and sometimes beyond your interest, right? So
Yeah.
you must have some strategic, you must have a strategic vision. Your people should have a leader with,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Go.
So where is, in as much as you've spoken about the conflict Israel has with Palestine and everything
Yeah,
else,
yeah.
where does then the current government of Somaliland draw that line? In this recognition, when it comes maybe to strategic expectations. You spoke about maybe what you will benefit as Somaliland, because
Yeah.
Israel, one of the other areas that they are also capable is, we're talking military wise, we are talking about counter surveillance issues, with cyber security. before we go to your side of being a veterinarian, and everything
Yeah,
else.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
because so are we, where do you think as Somaliland, if out, wishful thinking, Israel say we want to establish a base?
And,
I'm
okay, okay.
I'm just saying, when it comes to that, because there is a level of expectation to this, or is it that I'm blowing it too much far away from what
Yeah,
is expected or what is entailed in
yeah,
this recognition and
yeah.
partnership that you have built? Where is
Okay.
the red line?
Okay. As I mentioned earlier, we have been working with the international community, particularly the United States, in those 35 years. And now,
Mhm,
His Excellency, the President of Somaliland, Abdulrahman Mohamed Abdullah, the sixth President of the Republic of Somaliland, he is now in the office for almost 1 year and 1 month. Okay.
mhm.
During that year, we received we received a military delegate from the US, you know, from the US military in Africa. So we already have a military engagement with the US for the regional stability. And wherever you get the US, there is Israel because they, support each other. And when you get full support from the US and from Israel, then my friend, you are on the right path when it comes to diplomacy and international relations. So because you will get whatever you want from them. They will support us. They will support us in so many ways. But again, let me reiterate this: the diplomatic relation between Israel and the Republic of Somaliland is not a threat nor a challenge to any Arab or Islamic nation, my friend. We are just focusing on ourselves, my friend. We are focusing on our national priority. We are focusing on the geopolitical dynamic of the Horn of Africa, which means you should be supported by a giant or a big
I
country.
get that, but
Yeah,
doesn't that put you then in a position of just becoming a geopolitically useful state rather than being genuinely recognized? Are there no sub interest to this recognition? Because yes, you might say we have had this cooperation with the United States government. You have
yeah,
got military attaches coming, and then you are trading information and
yeah,
skill
yeah,
sets. But we understand in countries, though, small or unrecognized states, if you're still
yeah.
small and you're maybe unrecognized, often you've got less negotiating power. What are the safeguards that are existing to prevent recognition becoming conditional for in the future? What is,
Okay, okay.
I'm pushing, on this
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
there is the rhetoric of, oh, we've been recognized, we want a giant also to support you geopolitical. Yes, but that giant isn't just coming for the sake of like, I'm supporting you. What does the giant need from you? What does it
Of
want
course,
from you?
of course. I already mentioned in this. There is an external power competition on the region. All right, on
So
the Red
are you
Sea.
taking sides?
No, no, I believe that we are absolutely fine. And for your information, my friend,
Mhm.
when it comes to the recognition, it's always difficult as an independent state without a formal recognition. It's always difficult to get a recognition from the first country. But when a country become a brave, and give you a formal recognition, then any other country that will come to you, you will talk to you, will have a formal meeting with you, formal
Mhm.
conversation with you as an independent and recognized nation. There is a big difference between those two. So, of course, they
Yeah.
are looking for their existence in the Red Sea and the Indian Ocean, which is a very, 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 strategically and sensitive region, my friend.
Mhm, 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 mhm. No,
Hopefully, in the
that's
future, hopefully in the future, we it will tend to it will tend to the exactly what we want, and as you mentioned, we have a coastline of nearly 850 kilometers, which is untapped, my friend, full of not full of fisheries resource, but untapped. So you need a giant power. You need a country, a developed country. You need a pioneering country to invest in your country, not only the coastline on the marine, but in various sectors of natural resources, which Somaliland well known of.
all right. That's fine. If you are joining us, we are on Let's Talk, and I'm joined by Dr. Mohamed Awil Ali from Somaliland. And we are talking about the recent recognition of Somaliland by the State of Israel. and the dynamics that might be at play, his understanding, and also trying to make it make sense to some of you who might not have been following the story, but this is an important story. Now, back to you, Dr.
Yeah.
Awil.
Okay.
We are having this conversation when we are recording. Maduro has been captured, the Venezuelan president, and has been taken to the United States. Now, that is, I know it's in the Caribbean, South American, but in context now, because you spoke about an untapped coastline of about 850 kilometers, and Trump came out and saying we are going to send our people to Venezuela. I know I'm mixing stories, to Venezuela, because they chased our countries away, our companies away, and they are exploiting their oils. You have an untapped resource, and we see this, this pattern of, if then a country has got some untapped resources, uh, especially in Africa, it's either the West that are coming in, or it's the East or the Northern power that comes in. It's China, Russia, or it's the United States and their allies coming in, to get it. But what does now, bringing it back to the Somalilanders,
Okay. Mm, mm.
beyond the joy of saying, oh, we are now being recognized. I've been following your posts on Facebook, looking at the comments, people, because you are the face of this. You've done more PR, should I say. Most people I know, because you are the international face, but what does that mean to the Somalilander? Does that have an effect to whatever passport, their recognition by anybody else? Aid
Okay.
channels, do they stay the same? Is there going to be any change? Before, I'm talking of those that are in Somaliland now. What about those that are also in diaspora? What does this mean for them?
Okay. I will give a detailed explanation about this, but firstly, let me come to let me come to your first question. We in Somaliland, we already have an extensive experience, my friend, dealing with the international community, world leaders, even before the recognition. For example, on 2016, the end of 2015, starting of 2016, we get a $440 million deal with United Arab Emirates, even before the formal recognition. That was to have a transformation in Berbera port. So DB Well, a company led by Dubai, United Arab Emirates, come to Somaliland, come to Berbera. It got the deal with the Somaliland government at that time, and they established a very modern port, which is well known not only in the Horn of Africa, but the entire world, which is known as Berbera Port.
Uh-huh.
Now, Berbera Port operations is managed by DB Well. Okay, that was a 440, nearly $450 million deal, my friend, without being a recognized nation. You see, now the capacity of Berbera Port and its role on the geopolitics dynamic, the interconnection between Middle East, United Arab Emirates to Dubai, and its role on the development of you know uh, in the development of the trade was hugely transformative.
Uh-huh.
It's something beyond explanation, my friend. This is first experience. Secondly, we already have a memorandum of understanding with Ethiopia. That was in 2024, even before the recognition. To so that they come to Berbera,
Uh-huh.
utilize our coastline, and get a trade deal between us and the Ethiopian. It was a memorandum of understanding. It was not. It was up to now. It's not formally agreed, but it was a memorandum (MOU), a memorandum of understanding. So what I mean by this, we already have an experience to deal with nations when it comes to our untapped natural resource. We know how to have a conversations and a big deal done. However, the United States of America and Israel is another level, as you mentioned.
They're different players.
Of course. When we have been dealing with the U.S. from 1991, especially to in a region, in area, focusing in area like regional stability, security in the Horn of Africa. So we are expecting to work with them on our mutual interest. So we will see how things going on. Hopefully, hopefully, one of the things that recognition give you, you will have a formal, embassy in every country, that
Embassy.
a formal embassy and representative in every country that recognize you. So now we are expecting now to have a full embassy in Israel,
Yes.
Jerusalem, and Israel will have a full embassy in the capital of Somaliland, Hargeisa. So those embassy will be a hub for trade facilitation, my friend, and for other, projects or deal in the region. So put all these things together,
Mhm.
the recognition of Somaliland, putting all those things, all this point together from a geopolitics analysis point of view, the recognition of Somaliland is for the interest of the Horn of Africa, stability, the wider African community, even for Somalis, even for Somalis themselves, my friend. When a Somali country become recognized as a Republic of Somalia, every Somali citizen or everyone who is even speaking Somali, when he come to Hargeisa, of course he will be warmly welcome because he is speaking Somali. So we
Yes.
are even working for the interests of other Somali people.
No, no,
Hopefully now
that's
it's clear.
no, that's clear, and hopefully our viewers, you are understanding where
Yeah.
he is coming from. I wanted to speak on something now, maybe a
Oh,
bit
I
lighter.
forget. When it
Uh-huh.
comes to Somaliland diaspora, they are present in the
Oh yeah.
US. They are present in the US, and we have a huge community in the UK, and greeting to the people of the UK and the Somalilanders there. We have a huge community in Ethiopia. We have already a huge, big community in United Arab Emirates, Turkey, Malaysia. So
Mhm.
most of those people, they have a foreign passport. But when it comes to Somaliland passport is getting strong and strong, my friend. Now now if you hold a Somali passport, it means a lot. It means a lot. So they of course they will be eligible either to take Somaliland passport from Somaliland embassy where they are, or coming back to Hargeisa for whatever reasons and take the passport. So the passport will have so many things,
That,
so many
that
things. It will facilitate so many things.
that's very good. That's very good.
Yeah,
No, that's
yeah. And
interesting
for your
what is happening.
information, when it
Uh-huh.
comes to the UK, then even so many people come to the UK using holding Somaliland passport, my friend. It's fine.
I was going to ask you to say what did did you use which one, but then I thought it's a security reason.
Currently, I'm using Somaliland passport at the moment.
So, all right,
Yeah, because
that's
it's
fine.
simple and short. Whenever you have a Somaliland passport, no more security questions, no more investigations. They know where you come from, my friend. They know you're that basically from Hargeisa. Then, okay, sir, come in without any
Uh,
further questions.
that's all right. No, that's interesting, and it's an interesting story that is developing in the Horn of Africa. I wanted to ask this question before I actually go. I'd almost forgot.
Okay.
What then would happen come end of year? No other nation recognize you.
We will be extremely working, you know, to open diplomatic conversation with every nation in the world. When the president come to the office, I just want to congratulate the president himself, my friend, Dr. Abdulrahman Mohamed Abdullahi, the president of Somaliland. He is a very diplomatic man. Come on, he's a very diplomatic man. He sent a letter to every nation in the world when he come to the office. So the country is seeing a tremendous change under his leadership. He's a very visionary man. So we will continue working with every country, saying that yes, come to us. What kind of interest you have on us? What you want us to give us? And come and recognize us. A diplomatic conversation on the table, my friend. Give and take. It's a give and take policy. It's a give and take policy.
No, that's
And
interesting.
for
Yeah,
your
because
information, we have a representative of office, a full functional representative office in the Republic of Kenya, Nairobi. Imagine,
Nairobi.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you have established foot much in Eastern Africa, you know,
yeah, yeah.
and and the other countries.
Exactly the same like in Ethiopia. We have a full office, functioning office in Ethiopia as well.
No, that's fine. Okay, fine. To a lighter though serious question, a lighter issue in your field. I understand the livestock is a backbone, of Somaliland.
Yeah,
The Somaliland economy,
yeah.
particularly exporting to the Gulf states and everybody else. How does this then international recognition, even though this is like at the early stages, change anything for how Somaliland manages, certifies, or protects that sector, or is
Okay,
what are the direct benefits of such?
okay. And let me generally speaking about the natural resource here in Somaliland. Okay,
Mhm,
we have a massive livestock, as you mentioned. We have a massive land for agricultural practices and farming.
mhm,
We have minerals, which is a very rare minerals. We have established some area where there is crude oils, and now we are working on it. Hopefully, by the end of 2026 and starting 2027, it will be officially, published. The
crude
areas
oil. And
where
there's oil, there's Israel and the United States.
yeah. It is something big, my friend, so that you can have a deal with anyone who come to you. So this is generally speaking. And of course we have a coastline or marine resource of almost 850 kilometers, full of fisheries resource. So specific coming come let's specifically talk about the livestock. Livestock represent about 70 or 75 of GBD of Somaliland. So we export our livestock to the Gulf Arab Emirates, to the Gulf countries, the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia mostly. Sometimes to Oman, Bahrain, Kuwait, sometimes to Egypt, but mostly to the UAE and Saudi Arabia. So when you get a formal recognitions, my friend, you will have the opportunity for international investors come to your country and have and work on investing on those natural resources, right? So there is so many things we can invest in livestock and investing in livestock for sustainable livestock in the future. What this means is rather than exporting our livestock to the Arab countries,
Mhm,
processing in Somaliland, having meat production, milk production, having to have a project related to breeding, animal breeding,
mhm.
and we are thinking about projects related to poultry production. Those projects will add a value change to our livestock. So there will be a huge transformation on our national economy. There will be a huge transformation, my friend, on our national economy. From other side, it will create so many opportunity for our youth to work, of course, to have a small businesses. So the livestock sector is one of the top and main agenda in investing in Somaliland. It will when foreign direct investment, they called it foreign direct investment. When international investors come to your country
Mhm,
and
mhm,
invest in your
mhm.
natural resource, the overall aim is to increase the foreign direct investment. So increasing the foreign direct investment on our livestock definitely will have a benefit on our economy, on our government performance, on our capacity building, and of course on our local communities. So that who also will benefit.
No, that's good. No, that's fine. And I've enjoyed this conversation, and you have. I see you're passionate about it, and you're articulating it very well. Your president is very happy
And
about you.
one point that I wanted to before I forget it, we have a British office here in Hargeisa. Okay, we have an
Yeah,
FCDO office in Hargeisa. So on the future, I'm willing to work with them on. I have been working with them since we graduate, of
you
course.
graduated.
I
Yeah.
graduated from Sheffield Hallam University. That was 2 year or 3 years back, my friend. Maybe, yeah,
It's been a long time now. I think
yeah,
it's,
yeah.
it's been about 3 years now.
Thanks, of course, thanks to the UK and to the people of to the people of UK and to the FCDO, the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, for their tremendous support. That was an academic transformation, my friend. So most of the idea that I'm currently sharing with you, of course, was backed and supported by the FCDO and Chiefin in Jordan, the Chiefin Award. So I'm looking in the future to work with the FCDO team here in Hargeisa or the Hargeisa office to have a sustainable livestock sector in Somaliland
No, that's good.
for the
Oh,
overall purpose of increasing the food security, to
food
become a
security
nation
and
of food safety, to become a nation of food secure and food with high food safety practices. A nation of food security, of course, you will have a productive economy. This is what I'm trying to share, and your local produced product will be on the international market, on the international stage. This is for the benefit of the people of Somaliland, for the benefit of the Republic of Somaliland, for the benefit of the government, and for the benefit of myself. I'm joking.
oh, no, you are serious. That's your job title after all.
Yeah. So
All right, right.
hopefully the image is clear now. Everything is clear now.
Yeah, no, it's a bit of, it was a bit cloudy, but then it's becoming a bit clearer and
Yeah.
understandable. Now, I want you to give you a chance that if there's been, what to you is the biggest misconception of Somaliland that you think you would want to correct now?
The biggest misconception and misinformation is spread about Somaliland that we are not a secure country. We are within Somalia. And this is totally wrong, my friend. We are an independent nation. We are a democratic nation. And we are a peaceful country. We are welcoming everyone that want to talk to us based on our mutual interests. So we are not extremes, my friend. We are a very democratic nation. So everyone who wanted to come and have a presence in the Horn of Africa, welcome with open hands. We are a very, very, very friendly nation, my friend, with humble people, of course. People of Somaliland always, they are not aggressive people. They're very humble and friendly people. Now, as I'm talking to you now, there is a media from Israel in Hargeisa. Imagine. So they are having interview with the people, with scholars, with well
But
educated
but
people.
but isn't that, this is in the should I say spirit of the recognition that is happening? Obviously, Israel, in as much as they are Jewish and Christian and coming into a heavily Muslim country, but
Even themselves.
because at the background we have got this recognition, there is this warmness that is already being exuded because of
Yeah,
what is happening at,
I, I,
so
I have, I have,
wouldn't it be surprising if
I
it
have.
there was no recognition and then the Israeli press was in Hagisa? Would the, I'm not saying you're bad, or and stuff, but I'm saying, would then the atmosphere and the reception be the same without this background of recognition?
My friend, and I have a very, clear answer to your question. Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, when he formally recognized Somaliland on 26 December, he said that I found a 6 million population in the Republic of Somalia. They are proudly Muslim people, but are very democratic and humble people. Although they are Muslim, but they are welcoming everyone. They are very diplomat people, welcoming everyone based on their interests. And this is what attracts us to recognize them. So even if you come from Canada or you come from in Kenya or you are from South Africa, wherever you are, whatever language you are speaking, you will be hugely welcomed to Hargeisa.
Send me a ticket. I'll visit.
I will be more than happy to welcome you, my friend. I will be waiting you in the airport.
No, this has been other rather helpful and educative.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy that you managed to put time for us and to have this conversation, and for you to articulate what is happening in Somaliland, a nation, a young nation, in recognition in that it has been self-governing itself, holding elections,
Yeah.
and but
My friend,
still.
just imagine having a fair and transparent elections in the Horn of Africa and in the wider African nations. How much it means. Of course,
You're
my
throwing punches now, my friend.
it is something very priceless, right?
But I know it's priceless, and then the counter would always have been with, like, I didn't want to push it here, but maybe
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah,
have got space for one question, because we now have got the scandals that are happening in the US,
yeah.
and I didn't want necessarily to put it at a comparative between Somaliland and Somalians. How are the institutions then of Somalia and the institutions of Somaliland different? Is in light with what is happening in the US, the uncovering of the corruption issues and the other things that have been happening there.
Yeah.
Do you
My
get
friend,
that?
whenever we get an elections, a presidential elections or a president's or elections of local councillors and parliament members, we have external observers from the UK, from the USA. They come to Hargeisa, and every time they publish a report saying that, wow, we haven't seen this before, else ever. Haven't seen like these elections ever. They see that people are, democratically voting for for the man they want, without any external forces. This is something that we are unique of, and I'm proud, of course.
Definitely, you can be proud of something like that in the context of Africa. Now, so what is your final position on Somalia? Does this lead to an
Okay.
escalation? Does
Okay.
this bring non-negotiable views on the table? What then is the dialogue? This is the closing one. What then is the
Yeah.
dialogue? Because internationally, yes, but you are neighbors. You are essentially one people. I'm not so. Is there a border point between you and the third region and Somalia? Because it's
Yeah.
three and stuff like that. What then is on the table between you and Somalia?
And my last message to the people of Somalia, where of course I have so many friends from, and Somaliland recognition is even for your own interest. Somaliland case is on the global stage, my friend. So we get the formal recognition we deserve, and we are expecting so many countries to recognize us. So I am arguing and calling the government of Somalia and the people of Somalia. Let's respect each other. Let's respect what we already share. Let's work as two independent nations together for our regional stability and our mutual interest as a Federal Republic of Somalia and Republic of Somaliland. This is the only message I wish them all the best. I wish them a security and development. But of course, the only things that I wanted to share with them is that we want to work with them. We want to collaborate with them as two separate independent nations. No more, no less.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mohamed Awil, who has been
You, no
joining
worries.
from Hagisa, uh, talking about the recognition of Somaliland with by the nation of Israel. If you have enjoyed this conversation, and if you have got questions, you can send through the comments. You can send through to me. I'm always in touch with him. Like I said, we was under the same scholarship funded by the UK people, UKFCTO. The Chevening Scholarship, a prestigious scholarship, and I can believe you can see how sharp the man is in forwarding the interest of his nation and his country. So thank you for being with us. I don't know if you've got any last parting words, but
And my last word is just to thank you, my friend, and to thank the people who are working with you to produce such a quality, session. Wishing you all the best in your future. And yeah, hopefully you will come to Somalia one day, and I welcome you.
all right. Thank you. So this has been Let's Talk. And I am your host again, Tapiwa Makosa. And until we meet next time, make sure you like, you share, you comment, and you subscribe. Till next time, bye bye.